All right, so it says I'm live now. And I see that the counter is counting down. Um, so let's see what I want to talk about. Well, for one, I've been trying to use my tablet, and I'm having a hard time because it seems like um, the audio isn't working, so this is really just kind of a test. And um, I'm also I don't know. I've been quite isolated as someone who's been targeted, so we're known as targeted individual. And some people, that's more of a colloquial thing. I think other people have found out that we're a non-investigative subject. So essentially, we're on a blacklist, a watch list, and then the smear campaign about each individual and people in the community, probably neighborhood watch, citizens on patrol, some in law enforcement, um, some private, um, I don't want to say, oh my God, so let's see if I can now that I'm aware I'm saying it. I think I'm just thinking. So, um, those in law enforcement, neighborhood watch, private contractors, that's the word I was searching for, that hire people that are in the community and maybe some out of the community to just watch you and follow you and to say things to you. Also to break into your apartment, they contact your employers, they enlist people that are at the job site to participate and basically to destroy your life. And it's pretty compartmentalized. So I doubt that the people that you work with know that they're actually helping to destroy your life. They probably just think that they're working for the government or whatever private contractors contacted them or whatever information they've been given that says that you are a danger and you should not be in their community. And they just work actively to push you out. And at your employment, they'll do things like workplace mob you to make you feel uncomfortable. They'll do things to sabotage your work. I'm a teacher, so they even have students involved. Just a hate, basically a smear hate campaign. So there, for instance, there were students that I had worked with a few years ago, and they loved me. Like there's no problems. They were happy. This is during COVID year. They were happy. There were just no real, there were no issues. And then, I mean, I remember for Christmas, this one student gave me this really cute gift. And then I came back a couple of years later to this same job site, and she was just atrocious towards me. And granted, kids grow up and they go through these phases where they don't like anyone, but this is different. This is different. She was disrespectful towards me. And we had a really great relationship. She said something to me like, "Now I have Mrs. So and so, and I have a really good teacher now." Some kind of weird. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I really respect that teacher, and I think she's great." And then she had this look on her face. She just looked so ashamed. Like I don't know. Anyway, so they just, this information is out there, and they enlist all these people to hate you that don't know you. So I'm at this point now where I don't want to go through the whole rigmarole. The main thing is I've said it so many times, and I just feel like it, I guess just trying to get my story out there, just talk about what's happening to me. So, but I'm at the stage now where I'm destitute. The job is, it got too overwhelming for me, and I left, which is some, but how much mobbing and sabotage and community harassment can you take? I mean, they were actively trying to get me out of there, and it worked. Um, So, but now I'm at the precipice of what should I do? And I've been trying to do things, and they just nothing has really been panning out. The main thing is I want to leave the state. I don't want to be here anymore. There's nothing here for me. And I know as targeted individuals, you know that no matter where you go, it'll at least they stay. Now, I don't know who they are. I would say they are the people that other targets and information that's out there. But if you're targeted, you know that there's misinformation. So you may think that it's everywhere, but maybe it's not. I don't know. But it may be. But supposedly it'll follow you. So I can go anywhere in the world. I went to Hawaii on a vacation. It was fine. It followed me. Because it's a smear campaign. All they have to do is call someone at the restaurant and say, "This is so and so from this agency, and this person is someone you need to watch," and then people start watching you. It's just such a bizarre thing. So it happened to me when I went to Hawaii, and I went to Hawaii twice. I went to Honolulu, and then I went to Maui. At two separate times, and it was definitely following me. And then I've gone other places, like, I don't know, I went back to Oakland and San Francisco and other places. And it was definitely following me there, the targeting. And the targeting is following street theater, which is you get a lot of when you're on vacation. You get like street theater. So there'll be an incident. Something will happen, and then it's just a contrived situation to put you on edge. There's lots of noise campaigns when you're traveling. So horns beeping and sirens and aerial stalking. Actually, I think a targeted individual won a case because a helicopter or something, or like those small planes were flying overhead, and he actually won a case because he was able to track that information. But that's just the kind of stuff that they do with targeted individuals. It's a crazy situation to be in because it's so overwhelming. Like you have, especially for me, like I have no family. I have not married. I have nothing. I have no one to go to. And, it's just overwhelming and scary. But I never cry. It's so funny because I'll be watching some show and somebody starts crying. I'm like, what the fuck are you crying about? If you only knew how horrible life could actually be. But anyway, so I'm on the precipice of like, so what am I to do now? So everything I've tried to do, kind of leave the state. I ran through all my money, which was on me. I knew, but I was paying my rent until I couldn't pay it, until I was pretty much like didn't have any more money. And then it was easily the money just went away. And so now I'm destitute and stuck. And I have nowhere to go. And this is exactly what the people who place me in the program, the people who run the program want. They want you to be destitute. They want you to be on the street. And I was saying this in some other thing that I recorded that I didn't record because I don't know, the mic doesn't work very well on here. Which is funny because I actually think the mic does work on here because I was using it to um, look for something online on Google or something, which I rarely do because I'm targeted and I know what listening any mics that are on or that information is going somewhere else. And also, if you're targeted, you're under some kind of surveillance 24 hours a day in your apartment. So they hear everything I do and say. Can you imagine what that's been like? For me, I've known about it since about 2016. What would it be like for you to be under surveillance in your apartment? I mean, every time you go and use the restroom, every time you take a shower, every time you get dressed, every time you do anything, pick your nose, whatever, you're under surveillance in your apartment. or wherever you live. Um, some people say things like, well, if you're not doing anything, you mind being under surveillance. It's like, well, when I take a shower, I'd rather not be under surveillance. Or if I use the restroom, or if I do anything else that requires me to be naked or vulnerable in that way, I'd rather not be under surveillance. Anyway, it's a constitutional right. So read the Constitution. It's the fourth um, amendment. But anyway, so I'm at this place. So the title of this, I think, is How Do I Continue On? I'm the kind of person that I've been through hard times in my life, a lot of them, like pivotal hard points, difficult points. And I've always gotten a sign. I've always gotten a, there's always been a way out. And I think as a woman, when you're younger, it's just easier, it just is easier. And even right before I came to Washington, and I also had some money. So there's not really a way to navigate or get places if you don't have any money. This is not right. I am contemplating ending it all, like just the wrap. And I think we all know what that means. So I'm not going to go into like a lot of detail. I don't want to. That's not what I want to do. If I had my druthers, I would leave here and I would just go somewhere else and I would start again. And knowing what I have learned from this circumstance, I will not make the same mistake. However, they make it difficult. When you're working with other people and then some entity comes in and they influence those people or they tell those people to push you out, there's not really a lot you can do. You know what I mean? And one of my main things, I went to work every day fearful. And I think it's easy for people to say things like, if you're not doing anything, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. And actually, no, that's true, but to a degree, but not exactly. Because someone can say anything that you said or did, and it's not like I can. It's illegal to carry listening devices around with you. So I can't just go around and record everyone because I would. If it was legal, I would record. And I mean, you can use a video recorder outside, so you can record in that way. But what I'm saying is, if you're in a work environment, if I'm talking to my supervisor, I can't record them without them knowing. And that's different than being in a public place and recording. And someone could say anything. They could say I said this, or I don't know. They could make up anything. And I think one of the major components of being targeted is making up contrived stories about the person. I mean, it hinges on that and exaggerating truth. I'm not an angel, but 10 years of surveillance and sabotage of someone's life, I it doesn't warrant that. Anything I've ever done, no, I'm sorry. And it doesn't make fiscal sense. I mean, if someone's done something, you arrest them and put them on trial. You don't follow them around for 10 years and ruin their lives or push them into some kind of situation where they lash out and harm someone. Because that's what a few other targeted individuals have done over the years. They have, it's become so overwhelming because it's not just the stalking, there's other components to it. Um, like people using direct energy weapons, so they're hurting you. Yeah, they fry your inside, they overheat you, They mess with your hearing, which essentially means they're messing with your brain. Um, yeah, there's a whole host of things that they do. And just, I mean, I think again, it's easy to say things like, just don't care what other people think. Ignore people who follow you. That's just, it's easy to say that when you are not being followed. Like, I was talking to, actually, not someone, I was talking to my daughter, and she lives in a different country. And she was saying that where she lives, there sometimes people will come up to her and say, "Hey, we want you to work for us in this place, like some, I don't know, like a go-go dancer or just some something like that." And she said, "Yeah, I could freak out because the person is following me and then ask me." And this is different because it's not like that, and that's scary. I could totally see, like she said, "Yeah, but I just, I don't worry about it," and I get that and I understand that, but and that's kind of frightening. And I'm pray for her safety every day, but this is different because that's just someone who kind of noticed you and thought, "Oh, wow, maybe she wants to dance for us, or maybe she wants to be in work in our brothel." I don't know what it is, but she didn't. I guess in some ways that's actually super scary because that's kind of how actual sex trafficking can get started. But she is safe, and I'm not putting that out in the universe. But anyway, but targeting is different because it is an organized hit against a particular person that they either want to be out of their community. And I'm thinking by and large that's what most of the people want. They're just thinking, okay, we're just going to get this person that we don't want in our community out. But then the other aspect, the higher level people that participate in the program really just want to probably monitor how you respond to various stimuli and what it takes to utterly destroy a person, which I think is the ultimate goal of this. I don't because I if someone just wanted revenge or someone just wanted me gone, I would just be dead. I mean, I have no way to defend myself. So there is something larger going on. It's not really about me. I mean, I'm sure the people that participate think it is. I mean, the people on the ground think that it's just about getting me out of the community or whatever. But which makes I just I said this on some other recording I made, but how does it make sense? Someone who has a job and is being a functioning participant in society. I mean, at a high level. I mean, I'm teaching kids how to read. People from kids coming to school don't know how to read, how to add, how to do things, and I'm helping them and also boosting their confidence and helping them to be polite and considerate to other people. Those are the things that I really taught. And then to take that money and spend it in the community, and then somehow systematically try to destroy that person so that they no longer function in society, and to then put them on the street, and then on Twitter, on their pages and the news pages, these people in this community, all they do is complain about the homeless people, and but then they participate. I don't understand how that makes any sense. So then that kind of leads me back to what I'm saying about ending it all. What would be the point of me continuing to live my life? Why would I subject myself to being on the street? What good would that do? There's no purpose for my life anymore. So I'm making this to say is how, and really not just how, but why. Why exist in a world that doesn't want you in it? And if I were to say keep striving, keep fighting, how? How would I go about that?